Hi, I'm Greg Hunter, and this is the weekly news wrap-up for Friday, August 17th, 2012. The Middle East is once again in the spotlight, and it's all because of talk of war over in the Middle East. Now, there's an outgoing Israeli Homeland Defense Minister. He's going to step down to be ambassador to China, but on the way out, he says Israel is, quote, ready as never before. And what he's talking about is ready for war. He also says that if Israel does strike Iran's nuclear facilities, that the war that results from that will only last about 30 days. 30 days. You have got to be kidding me. He also says that he would expect, some heavy casualties. About 500 Israelis would die. Dreaming. He'd be lucky if it wasn't 50,000 Israeli casualties, and instead of 30 days, that it would last only 30 months. The hell that's going to break loose if and when Iran's nuclear program is attacked is going to be ferocious. It's going to be biblical, which Iran says its nuclear program is for the peaceful production of energy. The Israelis, the West say, no, we think you're trying to get nukes. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Middle East, in Syria, the civil war there is spinning out of control and leaking into Lebanon, and the word being used over there is chaos. Foreign governments are telling their citizens to get out for fear of them being kidnapped, and that could be a big problem, has been in the past and probably will be again. This civil war in Syria has been going on for more than a year and a half. Kofi Annan was supposed to negotiate peace, the former UN General Secretary. He quit. Now this is leaking over into Lebanon. The chaos is leaking over there. And all the signs are that nothing is being settled in the Middle East. Things are not getting better. They're getting worse. Next up, the New York Times is reporting that Jon Corzine, the former New Jersey senator and governor, it looks like he's not going to have criminal charges, even though $1.6 billion in what was supposed to be segregated client money was, quote unquote, vaporized. Now, the investigators say that they've been looking at this since the Halloween bankruptcy of 2011, and they looked at it and they say it really was a matter of chaos, their words, and not any really intention of fraud. And to that, I got to say, wow, another banker, another financial elite getting a big pass. I mean, we've had foreclosure fraud, robo-signing, forgery, ratings fraud. We've had, securities fraud, packaging up liar loans. We've had allegations of money laundering at big banks on both sides of the pond, and not a single financial elite has gone to jail, let alone even be charged with a crime. And this is according to William Black, professor of economics and law at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. It's absolutely outrageous. The economy will never get better when it's shrouded in fraud and malfeasance that our government allows to go unchecked. Next up, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Looks like he's getting basically political asylum in Ecuador. He's been holed up in a UK embassy. Their charges are that he committed sexual assault and rape in Sweden. He says those are trumped up charges. He says what this is really all about is his WikiLeaks released thousands and thousands of embarrassing and damning U.S. documents, and now he's getting political asylum in Ecuador. He's safe for now, but this is not over, in my humble opinion, not over by a country mile. Finally, Mitt Romney said yesterday that he's paid 13% of his income in taxes, and that probably equals millions and millions of dollars. He's a rich guy. But isn't that just a side issue with all the happenings going on in the Middle East and possibility of war, a major world war in the Middle East? I mean, NATO's over there, the U.S., China, Russia, in Syria. This is dangerous over there. On the other hand, we have our financial elites running wild, going unchecked, and we're talking about Mitt Romney's tax returns. He released 10 and 11. His wife says no more talk of tax returns. We're not releasing anymore. And isn't this just a kind of a phony issue? The other issue they're all talking about is Medicare drama. They're both talking about Medicare, right? Democrats, Republicans. Well, here's some good reporting from USA Today, and I have to get them credit where credit is due, and there's no joke here. That these two reporters put together the story, Medicare drama mostly hype. Medicare drama mostly hype. I'll give you the cliff notes. These reporters went in and looked at the Obama plan and looked at the Paul Ryan plan for how to, handle Medicare and these rising medical expenses. And you know what they came up with in this story? They came up with that, they're about the same. Why isn't that on the front page of the newspaper? Really? But I'll tell you what did make the front page of the newspaper. This story right here. Ryan revealed wealth in June. Number one, he revealed his wealth in June. Isn't that a bit of an old story? Number two, what's his wealth? It says in the newspaper between 1 and 5 million. But 1 and 5 million, more than I have, more than 98% of Americans have. But compared to people in Congress, I mean, John Kerry is married to his wife is one of the heirs to the Heinz Ketchup Foundation, Heinz Ketchup family. He's worth what, $600-700 million? Nancy Pelosi is worth 10, 12, 15 million dollars, and good for her. I have no problem with that. And this is the story. Ryan's wealth is on the front page of the USA Today. And the real story about that the Medicare debate is really kind of a phony issue because both Democratic and Republican plans are about the same. You wonder why Americans are ill-informed? Mainstream media is really letting down most of America. That's the way I see it. I'm Greg Hunter. Thank you for supporting USAWatchdog.com.